The Real Yogi, a book written by Gayatri Vallabh Pandey. I'm going to read a part from the introductory chapter, The Origin of Yoga. Vedas, meaning knowledge, are the oldest scriptures of Hinduism and the oldest among the Vedas. The Rig Veda describes how the universe was born in the Nasadya Sukt. It goes on to describe that when there was nothing, then only one supreme power existed, which cannot be described or explained by anyone, and hence the term Neti Neti is used in Vedas, which is a union of Na and Iti, meaning one who has no end or one who cannot be described as either this or that. That supreme power created this universe from his determination and austerity. But why he created the universe is a question unanswered because no one existed when the universe was created, and hence the Vedas assert that who could be capable of explaining the inexplicable? None. Therefore, we all must accept that only the Supreme God, who is the epitome of bliss, knows about the originating element of this creation. This question of why or what created this universe remains unanswered, even in modern science, because even the most accepted theory of the evolution of universe, that is the Big Bang theory, has no answer for it, as Paul Sutter rightly remarks. The Big Bang theory is not a theory of the creation of the universe. Full stop. Done. Call it. Burn that sentence into your brain. Say it before you go to sleep and first thing when you wake up. The Big Bang theory is a model of the history of the universe, tracing the evolution of the cosmos to its very earliest moment. And that's it. There is a valid and scientific explanation for this statement, since it is known that the universe is still expanding and it is expanding ever since it is there. Hence, it is simple to understand that it must have started from a very tiny entity. The Big Bang theory is fantastic at describing everything after the minimum period of time till we can trace it back to the evolution of the universe and beginning of its expansion that dates back to 10 to the power minus 36 seconds. Science has no clue of whatsoever before this fraction of time, and all the science and knowledge we have accumulated over several centuries does not suffice to explain the creation and nature of the universe during its inception. Few models that attempt to describe what ignited or seeded the Big Bang are pure speculation and no substantial scientific evidence to support them. There are research going on to find out the cause of the origin of universe, but till it is found out, for sure it is nothing but pure imagination. Therefore, be it scriptures or science, both have left us free to imagine why this universe was created. If we consider as to what happened after the universe came into existence, we know that starting from extremely high density and temperature, space expanded, the universe cooled, and the simplest elements were formed. These simplest of elements came together gradually under gravity to form the first stars. The first stars created bigger atoms and groups of atoms called molecules that led to more stars being born. At the same time, galaxies collected into groups, clusters, and superclusters. As new stars were being born and dying, then things like asteroids, comets, planets, and black holes formed. Although the universe may be considered to be started with a singularity, yet it evolved with the union of simple elements coming together, or in other words, the union of simple elements helped in the evolution of the universe. The union is called yog, and it is derived from the Sanskrit root yuj, which means to unite or bring together. So we can say that yog or union form the base of the creation of the universe. Therefore, whether we talk in scientific or spiritual terms, it is some form of yoga or union that forms the root of the creation and evolution of the universe or anything present in it, because everything that exists is a part of the universe, and hence in no way can be separated with the fundamental principle of the creation or evolution of the universe. Now let's talk about the evolution of life on Earth. Life on Earth evolved millions of years ago from a single cell. These single cells are known as unicellular organisms. These unicellular organisms reproduced by dividing themselves into two cells by the process of fission. Slowly over time, unicellular organisms evolved into multicellular, and again over some time, genders evolved. We are all a result of such evolution. So, with time, we see there have been evolutions to let the new species of organisms evolve to make life flourish. This phenomenon of life starting with a single cell and then evolving into gender based reproduction has a close resemblance with the mythological citation that the initial creation of Brahma happened to have only male beings, Prajapatis, which later evolved into a world of two genders with the help of Shiva to let the creation flourish with life. If we try to compare this process of evolution of life on earth with the mythological citation, we find them in line in the way that Shiv divided himself into Shiv and Sakti for the process of procreation, same as the unicellular organism divide themselves into two cells to reproduce. However, to make the life and species evolve and continue over time, the cells united to form multicellular species, which with time evolved into male and female genders who come together to reproduce for the survival of their species. Yog, or union of two genders of the same species, is required for reproduction. Isn't it marvelous to consider that yog, or union of male and female beings, can create life? Life is an unsurpassed gift in the entire universe for which no formula has been discovered yet. But we know the basic principle of the emergence of life, which is yog. What was the need for evolution of genders? Well, there is no substantial answer to this since it has not been completely understood because the majority of animal species developed into separate sexes too long ago for scientists to observe the transition. But one thing can be said for sure that this evolution happened for the betterment of procreation and was favored by nature. Thus, we see that without yoga, there can be no life. The term yog, though attributed to northern India with the first mention in ancient sacred texts called the Rig Veda, or even in pro Vedic Indian traditions, possibly in the Indus Valley civilization around 3000 BCE, is actually older than this universe itself, as it is the concept of yoga, that is coming together, uniting, combining, that not only forms the most of the creation of the universe but also its evolution over time. Hence, yoga is the originator of everything, and whatever form of yoga has been learnt, taught, or practiced has at its core the same basic concept of union, which is the essence and meaning of yoga. Anyone who understands this is the real yogi and is superior to all. So, this is a part from the introductory chapter. If you wish to know more about yoga and what a real yogi is, you can get hold of this book. This book is available on Amazon. I will be giving the link in the comment box.